Welcome back to Hardcore Heroes, everybody. So, the party has regathered. Rohanna has been cranky with Kine. I think that's maybe the right word for it. She's not taken a liking to Kine, but the rest of the party has gathered themselves together.
All right, spells. There you go.
Oh yeah, let me put mine in chat. I think protection from fire might be that thing that I always want to keep on me now. After last week. Maybe I'm just annoyed, but I took it.
No, it'd be useful if you're ever in combat and I need to fireball as well.
Yeah, that's what, because like I could tank your fireballs and I could also not get nearly one shot by a chimera.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Neil. So the Mist Dragon's breath was like scalding mist, right? In original roleplay. That's heat damage, right?
Sure.
Because protection from fire says it absorbs heat and fire damage.
So far, that sounds like it would work.
Awesome.
Just in case.
Just in case we ever run into a Mist Dragon. Though it would still probably kill me because it lingers in the air afterwards.
What level were they at that point in roleplay now? Were they 7?
I have no recollection.
5 or 6, I think.
I'm sure somebody had level 4 spells though. Maybe that was
JP did.
Well, I'm going to Malachi's house, where I suppose the carriage is. Is Van there?
We all meet up, right?
Yeah.
I think we're actually at the inn, I think.
I think my dealings were much smoother. I just had to take a dragon's head to somebody. I didn't get in a fight with any wizards, so I think I probably finished up much faster. I'm waiting for you guys.
Yeah, I'm approaching Van, looking kind of concerned. Say, Van, you know Rohanna, right?
Yes, I've met her before.
You are a priest or cleric, whatever. You can heal sicknesses, I suppose.
It would take very high-level magic to be able to cure what ails her. It's possible someday I might attain such power, but I have a long road to walk for that.
My first meeting with Rohanna did kind of go off from the wrong foot, but I'm a bit concerned for her. She does not look well.
She's lived with it her whole life. I'm sure she can manage. And if the day ever comes that I can actually cast a proper heal spell, we can see what I'll do.
I've seen people die from sickness before. My own father died from illness, but she does not look like a person who has many years to come.
Neil, she had that, like, I've heard her story. She got that when she was a child, right? Like she's lived that her whole life.
Leprosy while adventuring out in the, as you do, and it left her with a weak lungs and a weak heart.
It's already cured though, I think we've already established.
The disease is cured, but it's left scars. You said that I could potentially cure it with like really potent magic, but it'd be like
regeneration would definitely do it.
I think it was like heal or regenerate or something.
Because there was that time when we had heal on a scroll, remember, and I tried to talk her into using it and she didn't.
Yeah, you told me that it would work if I used the heal spell on her or something.
Yeah. She refused.
So I tell him, maybe when I am 5 levels greater in experience,
Jesus Christ.
I will look into it.
Level 11.
Yeah. You don't get 6th level until level 12, too.
And Malachi, you two said you sensed magic in the Shadow Mountains.
It was like a magical hemisphere above the Dwarven village.
Magical hemisphere.
It fit that village almost perfectly.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go and tell Rohanna about it. She didn't believe me. She just said that people vanish because they're crazy and stupid to walk into the Shadow Mountains.
I probably believe the same thing.
It doesn't happen just to an entire village or clan or camp.
I would have agreed with her, but after what we saw up there's definitely something going on. I agree with you, and I know we said we'd look into it, but this is the Baroness. We have to do this. We'll be back next week, and then we'll go.
Could you do me one favor? Could you go to her and tell her? Maybe just tell her to use whatever she has to maybe have a look around.
You want me to go now?
It will be 4 days.
Let's save it until we're back, because if we're lucky, I'll gain enough experience to do what I want to do. Malachi, if I'm fortunate enough, I'll be able to cast a spell with Rohanna when I'm back that will identify if she ever met Venlin, and that might give us a lead into the Shadow Mountains.
That sounds good, but look, let me... just since I know we said we'd look into it, I'll just go and talk to her. It'll only take me 10 minutes, man. You get the bags on the cart.
Sure.
Get Chief ready. All right, I'll run back.
I give you a pat on the shoulders. Thank you, Malachi.
No, don't worry.
Oh, and Van, here are your arrows. You get
thank you.
arrows.
All right.
I'll go back. Is that too loud now? I think I was too quiet before.
It's fine to me.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'll go back to Rohanna and say, hey, Rohanna, sorry, we were just about to leave, but I was speaking to my friend, the ranger, Kine. Said you spoke to him?
She nods. You do know him then. Curious
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah, no, he means well. What did he say I told him?
He said that you told him that the whole Shadow Mountain range emanated magic, and that no one ever had discovered that this massive mountain range just outside of town was
he
radiating
must
magic.
he must have misunderstood when I explained it, but we went to that village where some of the dwarfs disappeared. I think the Baroness asked me to go. There was some sort of magical hemisphere around the village.
So you're literally telling me that this village magically disappeared?
Well, I'm not saying that's what... Something happened magically that affected the whole village. Must have been quite some spell that did that. He wanted me to clear that up anyway.
Are you sure that it wasn't a phantom village and that you were just detecting a phantasmal terrain illusion?
No, I'm pretty certain there was all diaries and leftover tools from the dwarves and a mine shaft.
You do understand how illusions work. I made sure you understood that in your schooling.
I understand illusions.
When you believe them, you can interact with them, pick them up.
You think it was an illusionary village?
Saw a large radius of magic around a thing.
Well,
Magic usually doesn't leave residual mess, does it? It'd have to be quite strong for there to be residual magic after a spell has expired.
I spoke to a dwarf that claimed to be from this village, though.
But
I
this
think it was the
village
same
was
one.
entirely vanished and disappeared.
Yeah, he was in Shirebrook when it happened. Look, I still, do I still actually have that? Do you have it, Sean?
I think it's probably at your place.
Yeah, I think I picked up one of the diaries from there, actually. But look, Kine, he's not a stupid man. He knows what he's talking about. I know you've got a lot of things to be getting on with, but maybe if you get a chance to speak to Aldrich, maybe if you see if you can come up with any other ideas that don't involve illusionary villages.
Do you really think that there's something to this? What?
Yeah.
I mean, the Shadow Mountains have been cursed since they arose.
Look, maybe it is all just a load of codswallop. But this particular case, maybe someone did something terrible and they're using the curse as a way to hide what they did.
That's true. That's clever.
Well, I had a good teacher. Well, look, give it some thought anyway. I'll be back in a week anyway. Got a lot to catch up on then. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna leave.
All right. Is that the whole party gathered together now?
Think so.
Ready to head out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's take a look at our handy-dandy map. We rolled for stats on level up and everything last time, right?
Yeah,
HP.
Kine was the only one who leveled.
Yeah,
I know you
rolled for HP.
What is your new HP, Kind? Because I don't think I updated your character sheet.
12.
Well,
Oh, we didn't get a dog.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to get one from Shirebrook. We'll get one from Clydesdale.
Okay.
That breeder obviously does good dogs.
Yeah. Even though they didn't roll too good in HP.
level 2,
Back off.
12 HP, +1 to hit. Nothing else changed for you. AC still 17?
Yes.
Hey, you're a warrior. You just get the +1 every level.
Oh yeah. Every level.
Every
every
level.
Ooh.
See, the shitty part about getting it in fractions, like clerics, is that I get a better growth rate than rogues, but they get theirs more frequently. So there's levels where rogues outperform clerics. even though clerics are technically better at combat.
Is it for melee and ranged weapons?
Yep.
Yeah.
Offhand?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
+1 to
universal.
hit with everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Oops.
Oh,
I
Neil,
accidentally made you all dead. That's not right.
last week we confirmed that the scimitar was at least +2. Do we want to go ahead and say that it's +2 so that I don't have to keep reminding you, or do you want to keep up the idea that it might be
Oh,
great?
we're gonna keep up the idea that it could be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
All right.
Have you narrowed it down anymore? Because you know it's at least +2. Have you put
At
a
least +2.
maximum range on there?
No, we have not yet. I was just wondering if you wanted to take that pressure off yourself. I know it's hard having to deal with all the extra plus numbers. I was trying to alleviate
is.
some of the difficulty for the DM.
Well, I really appreciate that, Sean. That's so nice
Yeah,
of
no,
you.
I was just thinking about you.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. All right. So the party's gathered together. You're in Shirebrook. Jeeves has found a person who's willing to put the horses and the cart on a little push boat and pull you across the river so you don't have to ford the cart and die of dysentery.
Yep.
Okay.
He
I'm
gets
sitting-
you guys across the river, unless someone wanted to say something right now.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm sitting in the cart making arrows.
All right.
Occasionally looking around in the
You
landscape.
sit in the cart while they push it across the river.
I don't know how this whole thing is looking, pushing across the river.
I mean,
Cross.
is it important to you to be riding in the cart while it's on the boat?
No. not
Okay,
really.
okay.
I'm just in a position so I can make arrows.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, it's like 15 minutes to get across the river. It's a short trip. So you guys all cross the river comfortably enough.
Oh, thank God.
Are you in position?
I realized I didn't take water walking or water breathing today, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to die.
You're gonna die.
Are you in position to be attacked by nagas or mist dragons? Yes or no?
Just pulled into the river by lizardmen.
Just take your
Okay.
armor off every time you gotta go near water.
Khan, did you choose a favorite enemy?
Yeah. Trolls.
Trolls?
I took trolls, yeah.
Trolls. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
You don't know yet, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
It's not goblins. What they did to you. After what they did to Morin.
They died too quickly.
Mm.
You guys
I don't need the
disembark.
+1.
Jeeves pays the man. Gets the horses all tied up again. You guys are in the woods, just outside of Shirebrook, just across the river, but above. You're south of the what's it called, the Swampwater River, but north of Crystal Run, and that little V section between the two rivers.
Neil, my village is somewhere southwest of Shirebrook.
Yeah, your village is actually around this area too.
Yeah, would we cross through it?
You could if you wanted to.
I'm just asking if we automatically cross through it. If not, then
Well, Jeeves is setting the road, so you'd have to ask him. And if you bring it up to him, he mumbles, "I don't know the villages in this area, but if there is one nearby, perhaps it would be easier on the wagon wheels to head over a beaten path than open terrain."
well, we don't have to. But if it is better for you, and
It would probably be better for the wagon.
yeah,
My lord.
yeah. Shall I give the village a name or
Yes, please name the village.
Windshire?
Windshire.
Yes,
Hmm.
it's quite windy.
Oh, wind with a W.
Yeah,
With a D, I mean, not W.
yeah.
Okay, Windshire.
Well, my village, Windshire, is not far from here. You could pass through. It's not that big, but
Okay. He, takes your directions and heads for Windshire. It's a peaceful, lovely day in the woods. Birds are chirping. Bunny rabbits are hopping around. Sean's glaring at me out of the corner of his eye. There's some red
So where's the
squirrels
chimera?
climbing trees. When you see coming into view a clear-cut section of the forest, and as that comes into view, so do the small houses with the thatched roofs of the village that lies beyond, or lies within the clearing. What's his name? Jeeves gives you guys a knock on the carriage to alert the two people who are inside. What's going on?
It seems we are there.
We can't be at Newport already.
No, we're just passing through my village, Windshshire.
Oh, this is where you're from.
Yeah.
Are there people walking around outside?
No, you don't see anyone right now.
Weird. I don't see anyone. I'm looking out the window, looking around.
Well, you still haven't quite made it to the village yet.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was wondering if you were like just outside and didn't see anybody outside. That was a bit.
Yeah. Well, you're going through the woods, and eventually he does pull up to the edge of the clearing, but he stops the carriage and calls everyone out of it.
What is it?
Master Kane, are you sure this is the way to your village?
No. What is it?
Look, I don't see any people.
Oh shit.
Malachi, could you please look around if there's any magic?
I can't, I'm afraid.
I don't have that spell today either, but we can look around and see what we find.
I slam my fist against the side of the carriage.
Hey, calm down. They're probably just in the houses.
We are a village of hunters and woodcutters.
Maybe some sort of creature came through. Let's go check it out.
Malachi.
This is not normal, Neil. I know it, right?
Malachi, you should probably stay with Jeeves. Make sure he's safe. We are still out in the wilderness.
We'll go. We'll ride into the village.
Sure.
I pull out my bow, notch an arrow.
Hey, look, everyone's getting quite testy here. Let's just chill out. Jeeves, come on, carry on.
Jeeves drives the carriage into the small village. It's maybe 50 buildings total, spread out around a small area. Sure enough, there are no people about. There's no smoke rising from any of the stone or wood chimneys. There's a few buildings that look like they've been knocked down, but there's no sign of fire or warfare. There's no arrows or weapons or armor lying around. It doesn't look like anything has been looted or sacked or destroyed. Just a couple of buildings that look like they've just been knocked over.
Okay, I'm pounding on the door. Jeeves, hold. This is my house. There. And I point to one of the huts.
We all get out and start looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a worried look to Van when Kine's not looking.
I think Van just returns it and keeps looking around.
This is pretty strange. Kine, your parents live here, right?
Well, my father passed away about a year ago, but
Let's go check.
yeah. And I carefully go towards our house. The door is
Open.
open. And I open it. And my voice trembles a bit. Mother, are you here? I look around.
Empty.
In the room.
All the things are in place. It looks pretty much like it normally does, except there's no people here. There's no sign of looting or ransacking. The dishes are stacked up where they normally are. The table's in the right place. One of the chairs is knocked over, but sometimes chairs just get knocked over. Maybe
I
get knocked
look
over.
around. Is dust? Is the room dusty?
Yeah.
Okay. I look around for anything other than maybe normal tracks my mother would have left behind, additional tracks, anything in the dust.
Use your
your-
Windshshire senses.
What is your tracking check?
It's 14.
You scout around the house. But you don't see anything. You don't see any signs of anything unusual, other than the fact that nobody's here.
I storm out the house, anger in my face.
All right, look. Admittedly, this looks quite bad. Is there a town hall or something like that?
Yes, obviously.
Well, like maybe maybe someone knew something was going on. Maybe there'll be a diary or a ledger or something like that.
Right.
If we're willing to take a day and we camp nearby tonight, I don't want to stay in the village, but if we're willing to camp somewhere nearby.
This is far away from the Shadow Mountains, right? I mean, this is almost this is closer to Shirebrook than the mountains.
Yeah, we're still heading south.
There, in this area, if you see it.
No,
Is that right?
You're over here.
Roll? Where?
You're
Oh.
closer. You're like in this region.
Okay.
This is worryingly close to Shirebrook.
Yeah, so I say, if we're willing to wait a day, I have a spell I can take tomorrow that would capture any thoughts. The most intense thoughts would be the ones that would be most likely to collect.
All right, yeah.
If anyone knew what was going on, we'd probably find out. And if any bad actors directly came here, we'd probably find out.
Let's take a night here. You think it's dangerous to stay in the village?
I don't think I could sleep here. It's rather spooky.
There's houses though. It's safer than the woods, surely.
And Neil, how does the town hall look like? Is this just a bigger building or?
Yeah, it's not that big of a town hall. It's kind of like it was originally built as a granary to store extra supplies, and then it kind of just became the central meeting place because it was the one communal building in town. And then it was, things were added to it, so now there's still food supplies in it, but there's also kind of a raised platform for people to speak on.
Yeah, is there a building, or in the town hall, is there a place where you can probably fortify yourself in?
Each individual house is fortifiable. People tend to have bars across their doors, so if something happens, they can bar the door and keep it whatever out.
But
there's
nothing
no
like a watchtower or
fortification.
something? Watchtower or anything like it?
No, it's a small village.
Yeah, okay.
There was a knight in charge of it. The knight had a maybe slightly more defensible house, only because it was made out of logs instead of boards, so thicker.
Well,
I'll go to that guy's house.
Yeah, I say that to them, and well, if we want to go anywhere for the night, I suppose the knight's house would be wise.
If Van says it's not safe to sleep in the village, then maybe we should sleep outside the village.
Let's have a look at least.
Yeah.
Maybe find something, a trace or anything.
Well, you check out the knight's house, and I'll go and check out the town hall.
Van, come on. Maybe you'll find something interesting for him. He was a knight after all.
I'll wander off to the granary.
So I guess we're heading.
Am I getting this right? That Malachi's going to the granary, Van Helsing and Kine are going to the knight's
Town
house.
hall. Yeah, we're gonna check out
To the knight's house.
The knight's house, yeah. Splitting the party.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna die, but I don't know who.
I've got Bear with me though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Jeeves is gonna die.
I think Jeeves can go to whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Just like Jeeves,
Follow us.
don't stay alone. Come with somebody.
All right.
Yeah, we've had this conversation in front of him. Where are you going to go, Jeeves?
Oh, safety in numbers, my lord. I'll head off to the knight's house. Perhaps I'll have a stable for the horses.
All right, that's fine.
So he follows us with a carriage?
Yes.
Mobile cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's do Van Helsing, Kine, Jeeves, and the horses.
Yeah.
You guys arrive at the knight's house.
By the way, are the horses acting any differently? I look at them
really.
from time to time.
They seem fairly normal.
All right. I think we tried walking into the town hall.
It's a knight house, not
The
the
knight's
town
house.
hall.
Yeah, you're going for
okay.
it.
So, all right, sure.
The knight who governed this village.
Yeah.
The door is shut, but unlocked.
I try walking in.
All right, you step inside. It is a single-story domicile made of one large room. Doesn't look like the most knightly of places, but this is kind of the backwater sort of town on the other side of the river out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
You see a place for, there's a sword rack and a little outline of a
Armor
wood
stand.
mannequin where you would put your armor and your shield and your weapon. The weapons and armor and shield are missing.
Probably was
But-
wearing them.
Likely.
There's
Look
no
around for any-
sign.
Does he? Yeah, he's a knight, so I think there's a decent chance he's literate. Is there any diary or book lying around anywhere?
You find some letters that look like
Yeah.
correspondence between him and Baroness Valmont. They're
Anything
old.
interesting, or is it pretty standard stuff?
No, they're pretty standard. Here's this year's taxes came out to be this much, or her responses really saying, thank you for the taxes, keep up the good work.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think I'll take those so we can deliver them to her when we get back.
Are the missing woodcutters mentioned anywhere?
You just have her responses. You don't have any of his writings because
Right.
his
Oh,
livers
okay. Right,
leave.
right.
And he doesn't have a book or anything, no journal or just diary or anything.
No.
Okay. I think from there, there's not much else to do.
Yeah, and this is wrong. He had this armor on probably when he vanished. Let's see if Malachi found anything.
Malachi.
Yep.
So you and Bear step into the
Town
granary
hall.
/ town hall.
It's got a big barn door.
Yeah, the door is wide open.
Okay. So I'll try and get a look in before I go in.
Yeah. The granary looks like it's been ransacked. You see all sorts of bags have been pulled off the walls. All sorts of meat has been... well, actually, you don't see any meat hanging in the granary, which is odd. You'd usually expect to see some.
Does it look like it's been ransacked by humans or animals?
How would you
To the
tell the
bag.
difference?
Are the ripped open bags just lying around?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is-
Ripped open
like-
bags lying around with grain on the ground. And
So it's not like somebody's just come and taken the bags. Something's ripped them open.
yeah, you definitely see areas that look like rats have chewed through things. And this is a
Okay.
food supply that is now undefended.
Yeah. I figure that's just what's happened. So I'll tread carefully as there could be something here still. But I'll do a bit of a search. Or I'll just look to Bear actually. Does he go off chasing rats or anything?
No?
Okay. So I'll just do a little once around the building. If there's is there any back rooms or anything like that?
No.
So yeah, I'll do a once around and then walk back out.
Neil, while walking through the village, I don't notice any unusual tracks, right? Looking at the ground from time to time. Anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah. There's one thing that strikes you as a little bit odd. There's a spot on the ground on kind of the I don't want to say the main street because it's not really organized in terms of streets, but a major thoroughfare where it looks like someone has dug a narrow and not very deep trench.
Oh, no, that's weird.
It's maybe what's this 4 feet long, maybe 3 or 4 inches wide, maybe 5, maybe 6 inches wide actually. It's about yay wide, and not super deep, just a few. It's just this weird a set of parallel trenches that just kind of run next to each other for a little bit. It stands out as a little odd.
That's weird.
Van, look at this. This doesn't look normal. Not like it's not from a cart. It wouldn't lead anywhere. What is this?
I can't say. Malachi.
Am I back there? No. Or am I still in there?
Oh yeah, is he not back? I know he left the granary, dude.
Well, he probably would see us looking at this trench.
Okay. You just had an evil smile, Neil, when I said I walked around the granary, so I thought I was going to get killed on the way.
No, you run back into the party. Jeeves has found a stable for the horses and is taking care of the carriage. He's within sight, just down the street at the knight's house.
What could this be? It looks like some sort of passage for water or something. Maybe we should follow it.
Well,
Sure.
how far go the trenches, Neil?
Like 4 feet.
No,
We
it's
should
just
follow it.
just in the ground on its
yeah,
own, just 4 feet, 2
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
Is this
Huh.
something stood here or?
How wide is it? 4 inches.
6 inches, about the width of your fist, maybe a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Not
So
very
it could
deep.
be from something standing there.
Something
So-
could have scraped to a halt. Carriage could have fallen off its wheels.
Yeah, but it wouldn't just leave this one little perfectly imprinted bit with no other tracks. No, that is weird.
We saw that all the people disappeared, but all other things.
The granary's been ransacked, by the way. All the food's been probably taken by animals.
Malachi.
Here I hoped that you would say from humans.
You
You've,
are all started at the sound of a crashing tree.
Ooh.
What's that?
Sounds like a
from
tree
what
falling
direction?
over.
I turn to the noise and I say we should get out of here. And I pull out my scimitar.
This could be
Yeah,
our chance
I
to find
signal.
out what's happening.
I'm getting behind Van.
Yeah, I signal to Jeeves to get the horses ready and that we're leaving.
I was just finishing putting them away, sir.
It's not safe here, Jeeves. We're not staying. We're not staying.
Right
Man, this
away.
could be our chance to work out what's happening. Let's just see what it is.
I'm positioning myself.
Guys,
Either way,
the
either way, I
sound
want you
is
moving away.
definitely coming. Crashing trees are loud enough to pinpoint
Yeah.
fairly well.
More than one tree.
It's a
There's
large
now.
creature.
It's coming from the
Okay.
northwest, and you see
I'm
this time as
preemptively-
you hear a tree just kind of start to tip.
As we're hearing this noise, I preemptively cast Bless for the party.
Maybe we
And
should.
I'm readying an arrow, ready to fire at anything that comes into sight.
Back away.
Yeah, I yell to Jeeves. Jeeves, forget the horses. Get behind us.
He starts moving as stepping into view from behind the crashing tree stands a man, a giant man, a
All right.
16-foot
Just my
tall
fault.
man.
Of course.